Good morning, guys. How are ya? Hey, something came up. They're blaming pollution for amyloid plaques. There's studies that associate. Remember, they didn't run any randomized controlled trials as far as I know, therefore, there's no cause and effect. Of course, um, this is their shtick. They also blame the barbecuing of red meat as causing some of this pollution. Okay, fine. Let's talk about what you can control and what you can't control. All right, so given amyloid plaques look to be associated with Alzheimer's disease, which they now call diabetes type 3. So what can you control about the pollution? How about stop smoking? How about convincing your family members to not smoke or not smoke in the house? How about your car? Instead of driving to work, why don't you walk? Why don't you bike? All right. That will also help you in the exercise side, and it'll also keep blood flowing. And we found that better metabolic health, obviously, since Alzheimer's is now called diabetes type 3, better glucose management. Let's talk about nutrition. Nutrition, what can you do? Well, your body, your liver, does something called gluconeogenesis, which means it'll make all the sugars you need. All right? And if you stop pouring carbohydrates down your neck, well, guess what? Now your liver is going to make any sugar you need in your bloodstream. Guess what? That's optimum because your body knows what it needs. If you continue to pour these carbs down your neck here, we understand that glucose tends to stick to protein and that glycates, and that's also been shown to be associated very strongly with Alzheimer's disease, dementia, if you will. Now, there's two economic policies I follow. One is laissez-faire, which means essentially leave me alone, and that's reference to the government. So let me deal with my fellow man without your interference. The other one is caveat emptor, which means let the buyer beware. Look, if you want to cut down pollution, then walk, like I said. And once the government's out of your hair, look, you don't want to have the government tell people when to drive or what to eat. That is not a good idea because eventually it's going to impact you. Remember that. Everything you will onto others, you will normally get, and 10 times with interest. All right? So pollution, can you move? Is that feasible? Well, if that's not too feasible, how about eating correctly? Again, eat saturated fatty meats, eggs, drink water when you're thirsty, eat salt to taste, and then just eat when you're hungry. And by the way, every time you do eat, you can eat till you're stuffed. That's the cool part. I do that every day. I only eat once a day. All right. So concluding, do we have control over pollution? Yeah. Things that we personally can do? Absolutely. Do we have control over nutrition? Absolutely. Now, what are some of the solutions? Well, we could move if we don't like the pollution, and we can learn to eat better. I don't think that government is an adequate response to this, and I do believe caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. You, buyer, choose the correct foods, move to the correct places, and use adequate transportation to go ahead and cut down any of these other potential factors that might cause Alzheimer's disease. And for all the studies I've reviewed, it looks like we're going to live to a ripe old age, and healthily so. You guys have a great one. Be well.